Shabbat shalom. I'm gonna get straight to the point. I was in a class and I was listening to what was being said, and a scripture that was brought out was what the Messiah had told, I believe it's Talmudim. Why do you talk about the small mote that's in your brother's eye? Meanwhile, you have a beam in the side of your head. And I was reminded of the scripture in the book of James where it talks about when you read the word of the Most High, you have to be a doer, not a forgetful hearer, because a forgetful hearer is like a man that looks into a mirror and walks away and immediately forgets what he looks like. Now, this is a man who is supposed to be sane. This is a man who's supposed to have his wits intact, right? So I'm reminded, like I told y'all in my other video, in order to help myself, I have to help you. In order for you to help me, I got to help myself. Or I think I said that right. In order for me to help you, I have to help myself. Yeah, I maybe said it twice. We're going to run it back and see. But I'm saying that to say we got to remember, we got to stay in the word. The word, or the mirror, is the word. You got to remember that human beings are in the word. This ain't no fable. This ain't no fairy tale. Moses murdered a man. He killed a man because of his rage that he saw to his brothers. And the very following day, he saw two of his other brothers fighting amongst each other. He went to them and they said, "What, you gonna kill us too? We saw you kill that Egyptian." He ain't know that. And it made Moses run because Moses didn't clean up the act that he did. So we are capable of these things. A man after Yah's own heart committed adultery and had a man killed, David. So we are capable of murder. We are capable of adultery. We are capable of stealing, bearing false witness. That's why we have the Torah in the first place. That's why we have these laws, to remember what kind of people we are. But our people didn't realize, dang, that's why I need this. Because we was looking at everybody else. And especially when it came to the prophets, we was talking about the prophets killed the prophets because we don't want to hear the right things to do. We got to remember, we are flesh and bones too. We got these things ourselves that we got to fix within us. We got vices that we got to fix. It's the inner man that matters. We got to fix us in order for the Most High, or in order for your message to be get across clearly. We got things in us that we got to work on. And I'm not saying everybody, I'm not saying that you flawless. You got flaws, but you can be tamim. You can be mature. You can be whole. You can be perfect. The word says, be you perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. The master, Yahushua, told his people that. So we can be perfect. He said we can do all things that I do and much greater. We got these possibilities. We got these abilities. So we got to remember that. We can't forget that. We got to work on ourselves continually. We can't forget that, man, I'm flesh and bones too. We can't forget that, oh man, I got these capabilities too. Because meanwhile, you trying to judge somebody, and I'm not talking about righteous judgment where you assessing the situation or you assessing things and you're not hanging around certain things or giving people wise counsel. Judging in the matter of condemnation, telling somebody, an individual, while they still alive and probably going to have years to go, that they going to hell when they made a mistake or they sinned against the Most High, whether it was intentionally or unintentionally. That's judging. And when you coming to do that, guess what? The Most High gonna show you your pride and make you fall either like they did or worse than they did. That's happened to me, and that's happened to everybody that have viewed this video. And even if you don't view the video, it's happened to everybody out in the world. People call it karma. I don't believe in karma. I believe in you reap what you sow. And the Messiah said, if you judge, guess what? It's going to be pressed down, shaken together, shall men give into your bosom. It's going to be running over. So we got to watch what we say and how we treat other people. We'll realize that us ourselves have to have our own relationship with the Father and clean ourselves up as well. We are guilty. Like the scriptures say, nobody is righteous. No, not one. And it wasn't for Israel's righteousness that they got the land. No, it was because the Most High had favor on them, his mercy, his grace, a promise that he gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, Jacob. Because guess what? That generation who got out of Egypt, they died because they complained. They said, does Yahuwah hate us? So we got to remember us. Don't forget that. Look into the mirror and remember what the word of the Most High say about you as an individual. And I'm talking to myself, but shalom.